Have you ever been told that if you want something, you just have to fight for it? Well, I'm pretty sure this makes sense for you because nothing is free. But the reality for modern women looks completely different.
The thing, though, that upset me is when you said 300-pound people don't deserve love, which...
No. I said nobody deserves love. Like, the whole point is people think that they are entitled to things. And women think they are entitled to love. Men aren't that delusional. I said you don't deserve a man that makes 6 figures if you're 300 pounds. Guys that make 6 figures tend to date thin women. They tend to date the most beautiful, attractive women on the planet. I don't think I am entitled to dating a man that makes 6 figures. But for some reason, chicks think they are. That's like a broke bum saying, I don't even want to say Victoria's Secret model because they look different nowadays, but like a supermodel. I deserve Beyonce. You would look at him like he's insane. For some reason, chicks think they can do this.
Nobody deserves anything. As a man, you might have been a gentleman with a woman, but she felt free to ghost you out of the blue. Is that sad? Yes, but you moved on and found better options. These women feel like they deserve the best men, even though they don't meet the requirement of being fit, aka one of the 3 Fs. Pearl's analogy about broke bums is fantastic. A man with extra pounds who doesn't even make ends meet, lives with his mom and doesn't take care of his fitness, just can't expect women to desire him. The woman on the clip, though, claims that she deserves love even if she's 300 pounds. Well, I'm sure her mama and some friends love her just the way she is, but not many guys will find her attractive. Broke, sedentary men are not allowed to say crazy things like they deserve Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, Taylor Swift, or whoever comes to your mind. A man must do the work and hopefully he will land the woman of his dreams. But being a high-value man is nothing but a requisite, whereas these modern women think they can get men no matter their weight. Let's take a look at the comments. Me way back in 1981. No drugs, no smoking, no obesity. A beginning for any solid relationship is that we love ourselves enough to be worthy of a good life partner. Back in the day, relationships were about a fair exchange of value, and being quote-unquote curvy was not accepted. Every man and woman used to take good care of themselves to be attractive to each other, but nowadays, women feel like they don't need to do anything exceptional to deserve love. I hate that the word fat had to be censored. Holy shit, dude. This age of political correctness isn't ending anytime soon. The funny thing is that these words are offensive if they refer to a woman, but a man can be shamed for having this very inadequacy. And yeah, women mock this kind of man despite doing the work to lose the extra pounds. Here's the thing, this applies to men and women, but particularly to women. Overweight is an indicator of physical and mental problems. No man, or woman for that matter, wants that. Women justify their situations and actions with emotions, but taking care of what goes into your body is the lowest form of self-discipline. If a woman can barely take care of herself, she'll hardly do any effort for you. Obviously, men prefer thin ladies just like women prefer taller men, and no one calls them names for that. Serious question. Will the delusion of modern women ever stop? I mean, they've got nothing or little to bring to the table, but sometimes they want top-tier men and top earners without bringing anything to the table. In other words, there's no fair exchange of value. Take a look.
Man of your dreams, $50K per year. Are you taking him?
Absolutely not. Like a good
So how
father
much
to
should
your
your
children.
husband make?
My husband?
Yeah.
I'm 20.
Your 50K is not enough, so how much?
At least $1 million a year.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
that's okay. You gotta
What traits would you
Here we
bring
go.
to the table to keep that going?
Well, of course, loyalty. I'm an attractive woman, so of course I would attract a man like that.
Okay.
And family values, morality. I come from a good family. I'll take cooking classes. I don't know how to cook, but I'll take cooking classes.
Bruh. Okay.
I don't know what else to say. What else do you need?
So,
Do you think that deserves an $1 million man?
Yeah. Why not?
You don't even know how to cook.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I said I'll take cooking classes.
She dares to say, absolutely not, even if the guy's the man of her dreams. This proves once again that women don't fall in love with a man's potential, but rather with what he already is. Doesn't matter how ambitious you are as a man. If you're broke, women won't even consider you. However, when a woman is poor but brings good traits to the table like respect, loyalty, and listening skills, you might find her more desirable than a boss babe with a high body count and an IG page with thousands of followers. She asks for $1 million man as if making $1 million was the easiest thing to do. She can go and marry a central banker if she values money that much. $50K might not be enough to travel out of the States every weekend, but at least a man can provide for her and secure her a decent lifestyle. But these chicks want their city girls lifestyle and be a trophy wife despite not being that valuable in the eyes of men. When asked what she brings to the table, she has a hard time finding traits. She even admits that she doesn't cook but would take cooking classes. She doesn't meet that bare minimum requirement, so the man cannot get a homemade dinner once he gets back home from work. She ain't no wife material. My dog will display more loyalty even when I only have $5. A dog will be far more loyal than a chick because once she finds someone better and or you fail to be excellent, she's free to exercise her options without remorse. A dog, though, just wants some cuddling, food, and your mere presence to be happy. For $1 mil, she offers loyalty until the guy with 1.5 mil or more shows up. Female hypergamy is at an all-time high. Now with social media, these chicks believe they're entitled to guys like Ronaldo, LeBron James, and whatnot. No wonder why they're single and, most importantly, unable to have a healthy, long-term relationship. No woman at 20 years old who hasn't done anything worthwhile in her life demanding her husband make $1 million a year cannot possibly come from a good family. A good family would have taught her how to be a good wife, but there she is demanding the moon, the stars, and the entire universe. They're all about the money and not about giving men what they want because, you know, a man's opinions doesn't matter to these girls. If I told you that sometimes women listen and agree with you when you speak facts, would you believe that? Take a look.
Literally, how you feel about putting a for sale sign on your car is how men feel about their women. And I would argue it's not insecure to be that way. If anything, it's insecure for me to tolerate that because I'm scared that you'll leave me. So I'm insecure about where I stand in the relationship. But if I'm secure in the relationship, I'll tell you to your face, I don't like that. And I'm okay with you leaving. I'm very secure myself. But women try to flip it around and say, you telling me that you have boundaries and standards and all this other stuff is insecure. It's actually the opposite. It's very secure because he's telling you, I don't like this, and he's willing to let you walk away. Fantastic.
The evidence was so strong that they couldn't help but agree. We live in times of female liberation and all this kind of stuff that is hurting men and inflating women's egos. Women go out there, dress provocatively, and behave badly even when they're in a committed relationship. The thing is that most men don't enforce their boundaries, so these women feel like they can do whatever they want without fearing the consequences. However, when a man is secure of himself, he knows what he wants and, just like women do, pulls out his long list of requirements, which in fact tends to be a huge win for the woman. Men with standards look for modesty, women who don't hit the club and have no male friends, femininity, etc. If a girl doesn't tick just one of the boxes, she's out. Women love shit-testing men, but once they come across a guy sure of his standards, a woman is either disgusted because she wants to be quote-unquote free or strongly attracted to him. Either way, your standards are obviously sacred, and I'm sure you keep them high. Let's take a look at the comments. Their silence was so loud. That's a perfect oxymoron. You know perfectly that women have a strong need of being right, but shockingly, this time they listened and agreed to the simple yet powerful truth of why men enforce boundaries. Women know it's not insecurity. They say that shit as a form of manipulation. Exactly. It's nothing but a shit test. The problem is that you gotta learn womanese before participating in the dating scene. Otherwise, you get played and cheated on. Thankfully, thanks to this content, you're learning a bit of womanese anyway, right? They just had their minds blown. Maybe my ex wasn't insecure after all. Her exes might have wished the best for her, but she looks like she would rather marry her IG page and all the DMs she gets on the regular. But that has an end since beauty, youth, and fertility doesn't last forever. Back in the day, women would show off their husbands and kids, but now they show off how wanted they are. By wanted, I mean just for bedroom purposes, and that's it. Take a look.
I know a lot of unhappy men in relationships right now with 21 and 22-year-olds. So, baby, please don't listen to him. Because at the end of the day, you make yourself happy. You make yourself happy. That's the only thing that matters.
Dog fart advice.
Period.
She's 34 and single.
And I'm happy, baby.
If you say so.
Stop the cap.
Mad guys after me.
Yeah,
Ain't giving them
that
time
don't
to
mean
date.
nothing.
Having
They wanna
guys
smash.
after you that want sex is
Yeah,
nothing
like-
to flex
They already
about.
got sex.
Yeah, of course.
And they still want me. So what?
They want you
what?
for more sex.
They already got sex. It's been years. It's been years of sex, and they still want me.
They
What's
want
the
more
point?
sex.
What?
They want more
Well,
sex.
why they want it from a 34-year-old when they can get it from a 21-year-old?
Because the value's not high enough to get the 24-year-old.
Thank you. It's easy.
Yeah,
So they gotta-
now
it's easy
because of
that well never runs
because
dry.
men only look at women for looks.
She's 34 years old and single, but that's not everything. She's masculine, proud of her rotation of men, and showing off how happy she is with her current lifestyle. It's not as if the guys behind her are fighting against each other to end up with her in the altar. Not at all. They just want to end up with her in bed, try different positions, and leave it at that. Oh, and if they come back, it's just because the is good, so they want some more. Women used to be more modest in the past, and although they were just as hypergamous as they are today, they looked for a guy to show him off to her female friends and even society. The man was respected, and she was happy that she got a good husband. In contrast, modern women show off how good they're in bed, how many men desire them sexually, and how happy they are fighting against fictitious ideas such as the patriarchy. It's been years of and they still want me, she said. Good for you. Who knows what your notch count is and how low your value can get after banging men left and right. All in all, the men in her rotation are not trying to wife her up, but rather use her recreationally. She might realize her lifestyle is not good for her, but it looks like the side effects of hitting the wall are severe. Let's take a look at the comments. They go for the same reason a stray cat goes to an easily available food source. Have you ever wondered why a bag of Cheetos is cheaper than a bag of walnuts? Yeah, Cheetos are damn good and accessible, but they're not healthy at all. This girl is like a bag of Cheetos because she's cheap and every guy in the hood has had a taste of her. They already got she says this proudly even though it clearly identifies her as someone who has been plowed again and again with no sign of a ring. She's pretty much showing off how promiscuous she is. As mentioned before, back in the day, women would show off their husbands to get status, but these days, having a high body count and even a whole waiting list and rotation of men is a better option to be deemed as a successful woman. This is the era of decay, guys. Is she actually flexing that guys keep getting sex from her without commitment? Boy, they really don't get it, do they? She's being used over and over again and seems very happy with her choices. Her beauty will fade away sooner or later, and since her eggs will be hardly functional, only simps will want to wife her up after she's been run through by the entire block. Guys, some women and even simps are so insane that they do anything to protect their ideologies. Do you know these bigots who support whatever their political party does just because it's their party and not the opposition? You know what I'm talking about. That's why most modern women would pick feminism over lower gas prices even though they're losing tons of money. However, this woman thinks differently.
Protect feminism or low gas prices?
I guess low gas prices because ever since the feminist movement, it's been a lot harder for me to find a guy to pay my bills. And all of a sudden I have to work and I have to do all these things. And I honestly don't want to work. I would rather stay in the kitchen. Mind you, I need some cooking classes, but I think I could take a couple cooking classes and make somebody really happy.
Okay, that was actually like so sweet at the end. That seemed very genuine. I thought the first part of like, I just want a guy to pay my bills, like that's yeah. But also, I mean, valid point. There was a time when women did not have to work. I mean, they could if they wanted to, but these days, like somebody commented and said, yeah, let's go back to a world where the normal couple can live off of one income. Blame the government and their taxes. That is the reason why we cannot. Somebody else said, I'm actually sad the comments are saying this is the woman they want. Wow. Men want a woman who will cook for them and, turn their house into a home? That is shocking.
Some chicks cannot believe that still some men want women who will cook for them and turn their houses into homes. But yeah, that's what men want. Do men want combative, argumentative, obnoxious, loud women? Hell no. You'd rather stay single. A woman should be an asset to your life and not just a gold digger who stays with you just because you've got some money in the bank. The interviewed woman confessed what most women know deep down. Ever since feminism became a thing, plus the astronomical taxes and cost of living, it's really hard to live off one income. Consequence? Women gotta work too, so they get exposed to lots of masculine energy for the most part, make some money, and believe they need no men. But shockingly, she admitted that she just can't find a man who would pay her bills while she's cooking some meals for him. And as she says, she will make her man really happy just by doing that. Men are fairly simple, and after working long hours, the last thing you want to do is argue over a toilet seat up. Most men don't come back home and have a woman who has made dinner for them. That's the sad reality. But at least there are some women willing to do this to please a man and quit their jobs. Let's take a look at the comments. She knows herself to point out her own flaws. She's a real one for sure. A woman like that is very scarce. Most women out there think they're 10s when they're the most average or even below average women you can think of. When a man has flaws, he just gotta work to remove them. But when a woman has flaws, she's told to just accept herself and call out the men who don't want her just the way she is. The last part, but I think I could take a couple cooking classes and make someone really happy, is really sweet. Relationships should be a fair exchange of value and not just the woman extracting resources from a man. If you're providing for your woman, the least she can do for you is cook you a good meal. And trust me, that will make you more happy than a chick with bedroom skills but nothing else to offer. I love that she's like, I want a guy to pay my bills and I'm willing to work for that. And that's the point. Want a high-value man that provides for her? She's gotta do the work, aka be a homemaker, listen to him, and find the common good instead of her selfish interests. Let me be a bit controversial. Since women don't reward the behavior of nice guys, no wonder why these men are nowhere to be found. Bad boys, in contrast, easily bang women without feeling guilty. Take a look.
It's just, this is how relationships start nowadays. They start, like, how many times have you heard of a situationship? So, and it seems like you've been in a situationship.
I haven't.
Okay, then what else would you call sleeping with someone?
Friends with benefits, is that not
situationship? Yeah, that's a
situationship. Okay,
yeah. So if you're in a friends with benefits situation, that's uncommitted. So what else is he doing? Your side chick.
There's no contract between the man and the woman. Therefore, just like the woman is free to sleep around, the man can easily go out there and get multiple side chicks and even a whole rotation of women. And if she can't accept that, well, she could have just said she wanted out of the relationship in the first place. Modern women don't know anything about the word commitment, but hate a careless guy who bangs women left and right because, you know, that's immoral. The good old days of getting married as virgins, building families, and having lots of beautiful kids is a thing of the past. Nowadays, women allow guys to bang them on the first couple of dates, or even in minutes, but still wonder where the nice guys are. Instead of getting to know the man at hand first, modern women let their emotions rule their minds, so if the guy's got enough game, he can easily take any woman to his apartment. And if that guy happens to be a bad boy, he can easily ghost her with no regrets. With that being said, do women still wonder why men don't take them seriously? She's just acting as if she doesn't know what's going on. Exactly. She is acting either innocent or like that situationship wasn't a big deal. Modern women sleep around because they believe they can be like men, but in reality, that behavior has severe consequences. For example, guys who can think of her as a side chick. I was in a situationship for 7 months. The girl hooked up with a guy unprotected without telling me and caught an STD, then gave it to me. Promiscuous women are disgusting. Guys, it goes without saying that hookup culture is evil. This guy's comment is nothing but a proof of that. A woman might fool you into thinking she's pure and has all her STD tests done, but remember that women are allowed to lie and face no consequences nonetheless. Love the euphemisms for being sexually promiscuous. That's a huge punchline. The age of political correctness is not going away anytime soon, and instead of speaking the raw truth, women prefer covering their questionable behavior with well-sounding terms. But in reality, these chicks ain't nothing but hoes, and as Chris Brown said, these hoes ain't loyal. Leftover women, damaged goods, and the like shame men for not wanting to marry them. The cons outweigh the pros, and no man is settling down with a random woman just because he feels a bit wanted. Take a look.
Women are afraid of commitment because they feel like they're going to lose their life, which is a false fear. Men are afraid of commitment because they fear they're going to lose their livelihood, which is a real fear.
Think about this, man. You work hard, bust your ass all through your 20s, and now you're finally starting to attract women. And now you're being told to settle down real quick with some chick that's 30 plus also, while she had her fun in her 20s, just screwing away all her value on yachts, private parties, and islands. No, of course that guy doesn't want to settle down and get married. Then there's the real fear of I could lose most of what I've worked for a better part of a decade. Some men their whole lives.
Society has promoted the idea that men and women are equal, so women have internalized that idea and decided to sleep around, rack up bodies, and even have rotations of men in their 20s. However, during that decade, men hardly get girls because they've just started building themselves up. While a man works for his value, women decrease it. Once you're up there with all your money, status, confidence, sense of style, game, and whatnot, you might attract lots of girls, so you're free to pick and choose. Since you've worked hard for your stuff, you're not marrying any random woman without knowing she could be a good wife or mother of your children. Despite this logic, women can't accept the fact that men are not committing or dating women their age, just like these chicks who are over 30 slept with men over 20. Now men over 30 are free to pick and choose 20-year-old women or just not commit to anyone. Why should I pay for an old high-mileage used car if I can get a new one for half price? Men usually take their time to pick a new car, and they should do the same when picking women. Women use men like ATMs, but get upset when we compare them with cars. Well, just like she compared you with the Bank of America. If they label you as profit, label them as recreation. They think of men in terms of what they're getting from them and not what they can give to them. Support, intimacy, and listening skills is all men ask for, but these women just want the money, VIP treatment, and private jets. So men are not thinking of them as faithful wives, but only temporary bedroom fun. I'm tired of people telling me I'm looking for perfection when I'm just looking for someone who isn't damaged goods or ran through more than a racetrack. Men don't ask for too much, but asking for a woman with a low body count and modesty is a bit too much. These women decrease their value by banking multiple guys, but wonder why men don't take them seriously once their beauty is gone, but their entitlement is intact.
It got to a point where I was 19 and I got kicked out of my house because I was bringing over 6 dudes a night. It just was never enough. Enough was never enough. So, yeah.
What? Wait. 6 dudes a night?
For a consecutive week, yeah.
So 6 times 30? Wait.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
And how were you meeting these guys?
Usually dating apps. I have a hard time approaching men. I usually just wait until they approach me.
So would you slot them in 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m.?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And then I would even, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'd say I would even have my backup guys to where it was if this guy didn't come tonight, then I would invite this guy. And then if he did come, if the first guy did come, then I'd tell the other guy, oh, I'm busy. I can't, make it or whatever.
Average women have access to tons of men, but average men get no pussy. Insane. 6 men a night and the whole waiting list / rotation of men. Wow. Jabba the Hutt's lost cousin having a higher body count than Vlad the Impaler. It's almost unbelievable. Moral of the story, stay the fuck away from LA women. Jeez, she had more meat in her than a butcher shop. This girl is putting prostitutes out of business. That's why she looks like a 56-year-old grandma at 21. Her bedroom window was a drive-through, and you can infer that she's been run through as well. This girl is insane, but take a look at this one.
Excuse me, ma'am? Okay, that's great. I just want to let you know that your tire's flat. Get your fucking boyfriend to do it.
Emotional damage! That guy was just trying to help, but she reacted in a very rude manner. Suddenly, when the tire is flat, all she wants at that particular moment is some help from, well, a man other than her boyfriend. Well, hit your boyfriend up, girl, and see if he can fix it. You've got to understand that not every man is interested in you. Probably fake, but illustrates today's attitude that most women have, which is, they want equality until it doesn't suit them. Change the tire yourself.
do you feel about when your man likes girls on Instagram's pictures?
Disrespectful.
But I don't get how it's disrespectful when you like say you like Chris Brown and like Drake and all that. So how's that?
Yeah, no, but that's different. Like that's really different. That has nothing to do with
How's it different? So basically you're saying the only reason you're loyal is because you can't like attain those other men?
You're just insecure, and these other men are insecure, and that's why I don't mess with little boys. So you need to grow up and stop worrying about this other shit.
Absolutely wild fatherless behavior. You see what happened the moment he flipped it on her? The wiring in her brain could not compute because what this guy said was so much facts that she just started throwing out the usual insults. Oh, you're just so insecure. I don't mess with little boys. She just couldn't take it. As an aside, the way she speaks in her dialect is very masculine, and that's a huge red flag.
Hypergamy works 24/7. If Chris Brown hit on her, she'd easily let him smash even though he's got a vast rotation of women and would probably ghost her. But when a man likes another chick's pics, he's just evil. Make it make sense. My ex would flip a switch just like this. We were perfect in every imaginable way, even grew up together, but something in her past caused her to react this exact way anytime anything rubbed her the wrong way. The littlest things would quickly escalate into my things being thrown in a pile and me being told to get out. Then it would be $200 in balloons to apologize. It obviously destroyed our relationship. If you see this type of energy, unless you're a complete pushover, just run. Don't waste your time. She wasn't acting masculine, she was acting like a little child having a tantrum. Good ol' women.
Women.
You have anything to say to that? You seem really mad.
I'm not mad. I just don't understand why you think men are better than women. That's
Wow. At what point did I ever say men are better than women?
I mean, just the way you're speaking, you do think that men are better than women.
The problem is that you're interpreting what I'm saying through your feelings versus logic. I simply said that women don't have the same biological time clock that men do. That does not mean that one gender is better than the other.
Okay, next topic.
No, we don't need to move the topic.
Next topic.
No. We're not going to no next topic. How did you come to that conclusion?
Next topic.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Next topic.
Whose show do you think you are on?
My show.
Get the fuck off the show, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You're not going to disrespect the platform like that. Ridiculous. Modern day women get offended by facts, whereas men just deal with the reality of the world, get over their inadequacies and all that good stuff. Thank God she was kicked out of the show. LOL, like a child. She couldn't articulate her point, so she drops it. When you think selling your cat gets you more power, but then you run into a man who doesn't simp. Next topic equals I have no logical argument.
Stop calling men insecure for having standards. Stop calling men insecure for having boundaries. It's like y'all use the word insecure as some type of coping mechanism for men who actually care about the type of woman that they pursue a relationship with. Oh, you don't want me wearing this? You're so insecure. Oh, you don't want me going out late with my friends to the club at night? You're so insecure within yourself. Sis, that's not insecurity, that's love and protection. That man knows how visual men are. Why would he want his woman to be a target to other men? Why would he want your private area, something that only his eyes are supposed to see, on display for the whole world to see? See, the problem is, you want the freedom of acting single all while still being in a relationship with someone. You want all the benefits, but expect him to just do everything that you say and just roll with it. You expect him to defend you, you expect him to protect and provide for you, but when he does it in a way that's not how you want, it's a problem. If he didn't love you, he wouldn't set up boundaries for you, sis. If he let you go out and do what you want to do, wear what you want to wear, staying up late all hours of night, he wouldn't give a damn about you, knowing very well the dangers that are out there. The only woman insecure is the woman who can't take direction from her significant other because deep down she knows that she still seeks the world's validation over her own significant other.
Finally, a woman speaking facts and not feelings. A man with standards is the most secure kind of guy you'll ever meet. Chad and Tyrone only think of getting in a woman's pants and throw her back on the streets. I wish all ladies had this perspective. Why are women like you so hard to find? Damn, thank you. Some women just want us to keep our mouth shut and our wallets open. Make it make sense.
Gender pay gap is entirely made up. It has been illegal to pay women less than men since 1963. 1963. So if a woman is getting paid less than a man at her job and she has the same education, same qualifications, it is illegal. She can go to battle against that company. It's not happening. They use statistics basically comparing the average that all men make versus the average that all women make, and they try to say, look, there's a difference in how much women make. No, there's a difference in the kinds of jobs women choose to go into that happen to be mostly lower paying jobs than men. There's a difference in the type of work women look for. They tend to want things like remote work, and they tend to want to work less hours. They are more likely to take time away from the workforce than men. All of these things are why they make less on average than men. If you actually dig into the numbers and compare apples to apples, when women and men are in the same jobs, have the same experience, same time in the job, same qualifications, they are not paid less. And in fact, I think the averages actually show women make a couple pennies more than men in those scenarios. So all of this is made up, and I think it's utterly absurd.
Anyone want to compare the deaths in the workforce and how men in total make up 91% of the deaths from work-related incidents? My fiance's cousin was a professor at a college in North Carolina. Her and her subject has been removed: gender studies. If the pay gap was real, companies would hire all women. That would save them a lot of money. Women. Just hire women and you can save 30% in salaries. I mean, if the pay gap was real, that'd be easy profits. If you check the law in every goddamn developed country, you will not see any regulation that impedes women from getting paid as much as men for the same job, amount of hours, etc. Look, the market doesn't care about identities or genders. If someone has value, they get paid. Hold on, are men complaining about how poorly they're getting paid on OF? No, because they know that women there generate more money, period. Well, think of soccer or basketball. Men's teams are paid more because men's sports generate more revenue. Simple as that. Still, some women think they're oppressed just for being women.
Feminists posit that women are oppressed. You said yes. Do you think women are oppressed?
I do believe women are oppressed, yes.
Here in the U.S.?
Yes. Although I think
first straight answer we got all night.
Different definitions of patriarchy, because I would say that patriarchy broadly refers to the state of the world. I'm really not interested in saying like blaming specific actors or genders or sexes and this is no, I think that's completely counterproductive. I think you can analyze the world through by analyzing the patriarchy, seeing the detrimental effects of that, and if you see an issue, you can address it.
Okay,
I don't think we need to get into this blame
that's fine.
game.
Okay,
where are the positive aspects of patriarchy weigh into this conversation?
I know John Doyle's ready to sound off on
monumental.
That, monumental. Let's stay here for a moment.
Didn't men create OnlyFans for these women to be angry about?
Exactly.
Hey guys, everybody, pause.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Let's maintain this.
Losing control.
Please, I have just like a little back and forth. I want to have a little back and forth on this. Please allow me to just get through it. Okay. Are men the oppressors?
Men and women are the oppressors.
Oh, great.
Why are you laughing? It's true. You don't think women pay...
Are men the oppressors? Because if women are the oppressed, certainly then men must be the oppressors. Is that true?
No, I don't. I think it's too complicated to say one gender or the other.
But so you both agreed that women are oppressed?
Yes.
By themselves.
You're women. Are you oppressed?
Yes, in certain aspects.
Into the mic, please.
Yes.
How are you as a straight white woman oppressed in America?
Before you answer that, are you oppressed as a woman?
Yes, I would say belonging to identifying, being a woman, yes, that puts you at a disadvantage socially because of the social biases we've been discussing earlier on the panel.
What the hell? Guys, this is the 21st century, an age when women enjoyed the same, if not more rights than men. Clown world.
Do you think that's why no one has asked you out?
Mary,
hey
shut
guys,
the fuck up.
Hey guys, everybody, Brian's trying to get someone.
You're interfering with this clip farming, come on.
Okay. How are you oppressed?
There's been countless and countless times, whether it be in academia, podcast, whatever, where I say something and people say like she's a dumb bitch, or in academia it's more like,
That's not an example of your oppression.
Well, if people are literally saying that, but then when it comes to a man saying the exact same thing I said, being like, oh, that was actually a very intelligent point, well, then they are degenerating me, or then they...
Are you talking about double standards? Because there's plenty of...
That's a form of oppression. You don't think double standards is a
there's
form of oppression?
There's some that benefit men.
Using the word
how are you defining oppression?
Themes of slavery and genocide, and some guy calling you a dumb bitch for accurately...
Oh my God, a form of oppression.
This is literally...
Have you ever hung out in like a Call of Duty, like Call of Duty 2?
This is the problem.
Not being able to get a job
you have conversations like this, and you participate in conversations like this, and then feminists will literally think to themselves, why has every major religion in society imposed like borderline draconian rules on our behavior? And it's like, maybe this lends some credibility to that thing. I mean,
Yeah.
women don't aspire to agency. This is
you've
the
been
problem with women are oppressed. Can women be oppressed if they're not like tied down somewhere? You guys don't aspire to agency the way that men do. You are not fundamentally trying to lead, trying to do things like that. You think you are because you respond to the media and to society putting that idea in your head. But if that were not the
John,
case, you go back
I think
to
Brian
the
wants you to
21st
end your little
century.
soy rant.
No, it's
No,
fine.
I was enjoying
Literally
that.
everything.
That rant was
everything
soy
you have
free.
said.
He called it a
people-
soy rant because he was making good
That
points.
rant was
No.
soy-free.
Everything you have literally said are the same arguments people have used against black people in like the 60s.
Now we go to the black
Oh my fucking God.
You see Brian's face? A big ass facepalm. That's the level of logic modern women can attain. Let's see the comments. People don't even know the exact definition of patriarchy. Patriarchy equals a system of society or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it. Women aren't excluded from holding power. They choose to not occupy positions of power because they don't, in most, choose to do what it takes to reach that power. For instance, women can run for office, yet most women don't want to do that. Most women don't want to work the long hours to become a CEO. Patriarchy is based on competency, not tyranny. Malcolm X spoke out against liberals for a reason. This is wild, also kind of scary. These women are brainwashed as fuck. There has never been a more privileged group in the history of humankind than attractive young white women. No one has ever had it easier with the least amount of hardships than this group. Pampered, protected, excused, catered to, but they think they are the victims and most oppressed. Being called a dumb bitch is a form of oppression? Oppression must occur daily in League of Legends and Call of Duty lobbies. Truly the catastrophe that our ancestors also faced. Destiny is the hyper-manifestation of people I've met in life who come up with a good argument until you give it some thought and dismantle it. But because they go so fast, you don't have time to think. But if you do dismantle it, they'll do minor attacks to your person, and since they're not big enough, you can't call them out on it. I don't hate these types of people, but I do find them annoying. Destiny just so happens to be a master of his craft, whereas the ones I've dealt with were dwarfed by him. It goes without saying that the West is a clown world, and speaking of oppression, let's address the topic of submission in a good sense. When a woman is smart enough, she will submit to the right man, aka a guy with status, looks, money, problem-solving skills, and all that good stuff men gotta offer even before trying their hand in the dating scene. After that milestone, a man can pick and choose just like a woman feels entitled to the best men just because she's hot, young, and attractive.
I don't know why women feel entitled to a good man. You don't deserve anything. You got to earn it.
Okay.
Yep.
You know?
And if it comes easy, is it really worth it?
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Men have to earn their status. Here's the difference, ladies. Men have to earn their status. Women have to earn their man that worked for the status. That's how it goes. You're fighting for his last name, not the other way around. I don't know why women think that they're entitled to like a high value man with money and he's going to be submissive to me and listen to me. No, that's just not the way the world works.
A woman can't just think she can be an awful person and retain a man regardless. Nobody deserves anything, period. You gotta do the work to get where you wanna be, and that's completely fine. But these women think that putting on makeup, having some bedroom skills, and a good outfit is enough to get Prince Charming. Woman caller, I deserve a high value man. Kevin Samuels, what have you done for this man that you deserve his money? Woman caller, silence. Why wouldn't they feel entitled? Family law trains them to be entitled to traffic their children for money. Sending this clip to my wife. I'll get the divorce papers ready. Bye, Felicia. The interesting aspect to all of this is the anger the woman in green shows. Despite Myron speaking on this and having empirical data to support it, she takes the "but I'm the exception" approach. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. No one deserves anything, you have to earn it. Kevin Samuels. This is so true. They calling themselves queens while they ain't shit. There are enough of them and less of the 1 to 3% of men they want. They have that name for a reason. Y'all know queens, but the 1 to 3% are kings. They earn their status like Myron said. It's the truth, and these kinds of men don't want y'all boss bitches, so dream on or change your behavior in a good way. When a woman rejects a man because he's broke, she's just smart because that dude won't guarantee the highest degree of survival. But when a man rejects a woman or doesn't wife her out because she's got a certain past plus a bunch of contacts, he's insecure. They'll say that what's done is done, but the present is just a byproduct of past choices. That's why smart men hit the gym and, yeah, hardly marry women who racked up dozens of bodies. These women got really schooled. Take a look.
Okay, you're overcomplicating things. Again, everyone's overcomplicating things. I don't think anyone wants to sleep with a woman or settle down with a woman who has 80 bodies. That's disgusting.
How am I overcomplicating? I'm breaking down why.
I know you're breaking it down, but it's something that doesn't need to be broken down. Most people, if they hear that you have 80 bodies, they'll be like,
That's good.
I bet
That's
you
good.
fucking
Keep
has.
going. Let me tag something on at the end of that there. The reason why men have a sexual, I won't say revulsion response, because there's a human revulsion response, but it's intense for certain things, like you want to get away from a dead body. Like you want to get away from a dead body. You want to get away from things that smell, like feces. Fear of heights. There are things that human beings are instinctually want to get themselves away from, okay? When you're looking for, when a woman, it seems like she's easy, or she's had 80 bodies, or she has children from another man, there is a hesitation in men that is instinctual. And the reason for that is because that woman represents a bad bet for his paternity. That's why the body count matters to guys, and it doesn't matter quite as much to women. For a guy who has a high body count, I believe it was Sterling who was saying this, is that that is like one of the highest ways of demonstrating higher value, or pre-selection, that's what it was. Because if a guy knows his way around your body better than you do, you know he fucks. You know that he has been rewarded by other women who have had sex with him in the past, enough so he has the experience to know what he's doing in the bedroom.
Right.
So there's that aspect. But then the other part of it is that the reason why promiscuity works one way for men and it does not work for women is because of that paternity. It's the understanding and the ascertaining whether or not the child is his child. Because since we were living in hunter-gatherer groups on the sub-Saharan African plains,
up until 1980.
Until we could actually
up
have
DNA
tests,
paternity tests.
Yeah, so men have, it's been in our biological, evolutionary, innate interests to know or to try to ascertain whether or not the baby is our baby. So that's why men mate guard. That's why when women and men get jealous because of infidelity, men tend to focus on the physical act. Did you have sex with him in the bathroom? Did he have a bigger than I did? Did you get off? Those are the particulars that guys want to know when infidelity takes place. When a woman gets jealous because of infidelity, it's, do you love her? Am I losing my investment? Is my long-term security with this guy, is that in danger? That's where that jealousy comes from. So there's differences because men and women are different, and we have different priorities when it comes to reproduction as well as family creation as well. So when we're talking about 80 bodies, when you say, hey, I've had 80 guys, that's a pool of 80 men in which one of those guys, or probably some of those guys, could have been the guy that you can't get over. Or maybe he's the guy that whether he did or he didn't doesn't make any difference, but he's still thinking, like on a hindbrain, lizard brain level, that there's a possibility that she was impregnated by one of these guys and she can't get over that guy. You're a bad bet for my paternity.
Yeah, sure.
Your response?
I just love that we revert to these primordial justifications for wanting a woman with a low body count when guys are fucking with condoms.
Where else would you go
when
with
guys
it?
find it
Where
hot
else
when
would you
girls
go
are on
with it?
birth control. If guys' main prerogative is to like spread their seed, then why is it they're looking for women who are on birth control? They're attracted to women with IUDs.
They're not.
It's not an intellectual thing.
I didn't say it was.
They're not.
I'm saying we use biology as an excuse when in reality biology refers to life and life's processes, and our capacity for culture falls under biology. Our development of paternity tests, birth control, condoms, that all falls under biology and our capacity for culture.
Culture is downstream from biology. You don't get society, you don't get social construction without biology first that drives that.
Yeah, I think you're over intellectualizing a lot of this. Like like you said, it could be boiled down to biology.
That's not a response.
Well, no, I just think that
it's a response. But your question is it right? And his response is, this is why it is. So the problem is, what people will do is they'll say, this man is just what is this, a small dick energy or whatever thing that they have to say to make or denigrate men for having some sort of preference. And the reality is these things happen because men have 17 times as much testosterone as women, and throughout our evolutionary history, we are the ones that were the disposable gender. And because of that, we compete with other men for women. The men who make it to the top throughout history have had more sexual partners. That's just the way that it's been. It's not an excuse. If you have every right to think it's wrong if you want to think it's wrong, but it's not hypocritical because we're different. If you and I were to join the Marine Corps, I have to do more push-ups than you because the world is different for men than it is for women. If you and I were to join the fire department, I have to do more pull-ups than you because men and women are different.
That final part is all you gotta hear. I mean, it's all about equality and I can do what men do, right until women have to do as many push-ups and pull-ups as men. Anyway, the biological factor can never be neglected because it's just how humans are hardwired. Just like women are programmed to get the best man possible, aka hypergamy, men are programmed to look for low body count, modest women, because that will help them make sure the child is theirs. Let's take a look at the comments. You can't convince this woman because if you did, she'd have to accept that she will never get a man of value. She'll never accept it because the consequences of that realization will be too much to handle. You are fighting against a self-defense coping mechanism which prevents a breakdown, despair, etc., plus giving up her lifestyle. I think pair bonding is another big reason why it matters more to men than to women. If a woman has lots of sexual partners, she loses her ability to pair bond. My husband and I waited until we were married to have sex, and he is my whole world. I literally got anxiety attacks when I think about something bad happening to him. I pray for his safety every day, and I ask to God to please bless us with a long life together. I'd rather die than divorce him. That's pair bonding. I love him so intensely and so deeply that I don't see or notice other men. Seeing an attractive man is no different than when I see an attractive woman. It's like, oh, that's a person with symmetrical features. The end. This is the normal way to feel with your husband. This is how it should be, but promiscuous women have destroyed their ability to experience this. So no wonder men don't want to settle down with these women. These are the women who will always be looking for greener grass, and as my husband always says, if you want greener grass, water your own grass. This young is upset that the driver behind men's low body count preference is biological, seeming to imply that men should just rationalize their way out of their instincts. I guarantee that she has never once questioned her biologically driven attraction triggers, money, muscles, height, etc., and would be appalled if someone suggested that she can make her own money now and there are police to protect her, so she should just date short, fat, and broke dudes. The narcissistically driven entitlement idiocy of these people is mind-boggling to me. The whoreization of modern women is so severe to the point that men are expected to put up with not being able to ensure paternity. She doesn't like primordial justifications when men use it to select partners, but she loves using it when she picks men taller than her and stronger than her. Had feelings for a girl, found out she had one-night stands with two of my buddies. My feelings for her died right in front of me, and I never saw her the same. Sheesh. A man is supposed to tick multiple boxes not only to get women, but also to be valuable to society. However, women feel like they can just call themselves a 10, and society should accept that. Check this whale out.
Do you ever get dressed and just be like, damn, I look good? I did today.
Do you ever look in the mirror and think, damn, I'm delusional? I'm causing stress on my heart, knees, and ankles. I hope you did today, so you can put down the fork and push away from the table.
Women want the best men all the time, and sometimes they just want to be single moms. Yeah, you heard that right. Here's the proof.
Do you guys want to be somebody's wife? What do you want to be? I don't really know if I necessarily want to get married. You want to have kids? I do want to have kids, but I'm not sure if I want to get married.
So women love to say, nobody chooses to be a single mother, Aaron.
What is this?
You want to have kids, but you don't know if you want to get married. So that means that you're planning to already bring this child into and have a deficit in their life, right?
If I find the right person, we could get married.
But do you have to find the right person to have the baby? I
do think I have to find the right person to have a kid, but I also feel like I'm in a position where I'm doing things for my own, so I would completely be okay with having to take on their responsibility.
So this is exactly what's going on in our communities. Women are purposely having babies out of wedlock because in her mind, she thinks she's adequate enough and suitable enough to raise a child all by herself. Why does she think this? Because her mother did it. Her mother was a single mother. And that is the reason why I'm against single motherhood, because it becomes an acceptable generational curse.
The man impregnates, ghosts her, and she got exactly what she wanted. A kid who's probably gonna be a criminal or a hoe. Stats don't lie. Let's check some comments. We donors now, busting that shit and keep it pushing because that's what they want anyway. They want everything without us, but need us to do it. Children need their fathers. Fellas, warning, do not give your seed to women who think like this. And now, listen to this woman who talks about men not wanting single moms.
Now, I know some of y'all don't have critical thinking skills, so I'm going to try to break this down carefully. Stay with me. Number one, it is okay for a man to have the preference of not dating a single mother. Number two, it's okay for a single mother to feel some type of way about that if in fact the reasoning behind why this man doesn't want to date a single mother is because he feels like something is wrong with the single mother, when the truth is he simply doesn't want to raise somebody else's children.
Yeah, and rightfully so. So men prefer having their own kids instead of raising another man's.
Number three, when a man is raised by a single mother and he himself says he will never date a single mother as if a single mother is beneath him, he is part of the problem.
Women.
Number four, those of you who be like, oh, he just doesn't want to repeat the cycle, lack the critical thinking skills necessary and should have thought this through a little longer. Number five, in order for him to not repeat the vicious cycle of single motherhood, he would have to either A, become a stepfather to a fatherless child, or B, not create a single mother himself. Number six, if a man was raised by a single mother and he didn't necessarily have the best relationship with her, and that's the reason why he doesn't want to date single mothers, it isn't because she was a single mother that made her the worst person to be mothered by. It was because she was a terrible person to begin with, not because she's a mom. Number seven, just because you had a bad experience with your mother and she was single, raising you alone, doesn't mean every single mother you meet will be like your mom.
So, let me get this straight. Ain't no woman making concessions when considering a man. If he's fat, period. But a man who's been raised by a single mom, has seen all she's gone through, and does not want his kid to be raised like that, is simply a bad person, if not part of the problem? Make it make sense.
Number eight, if you have dated a lot of single mothers and you keep having negative experiences with single mothers and you are still single and not married yourself, sir, that means you just make poor choices in women. These women aren't terrible because they're single mothers. You just have a pattern. You have a bad habit of choosing women that you aren't compatible with. It's not that you're having better experiences with childless women. You're still single. You're not married. 9 times out of 10, every woman you are choosing is not the right woman. Number 9, most of y'all saying y'all wouldn't date single mothers have never dated a single mother a day in your life. You just have this negative stigma on single mothers because you're applying a shit ton of stereotypes to her that society has indoctrinated you to do so.
No, society now is indoctrinating men to believe that single moms are the best thing ever. It's amazing how some women would change facts to legitimize their narratives.
Number 10, the best way to discontinue the vicious cycle of single motherhood is if you yourself as a man refuse to create a single mother, number 1. And number 2, you decide to be the best stepfather there is. If you leave a woman who is a bad person or bad at parenting with raising a child alone, she is going to create more daughters that are going to be single mothers. She's going to create more sons who are going to make single mothers.
So she's suggesting that men should come and save single moms. Sorry, but men are not willing to play Captain Save-A-Ho.
If you classify yourself as a high value man, if you are decent, 9 times out of 10 you have a great character. So you are a generous person. Your influence on a child that doesn't have a father would help repair our community. Honorable mention. Just because I'm a single mother doesn't mean I've suddenly become incompetent or that I don't know anything about parenting. There are single mothers out there who are great mothers. They're great girlfriends and they make amazing wives. There's plenty of men out here who became a stepfather and they love that experience. If you don't want to date single mothers, that's your preference, that's okay. But stop trying to make it seem like there's something wrong with single mothers when you simply just don't want to take care of somebody else's children. That just means you yourself don't have the resources, the kindness, or the selflessness to be able to adopt somebody else's child.
Of course, men don't want to raise another man's kids even if he's got the resources, kindness, and all that good stuff. Let's check some comments. Dating a single mother in most cases simply isn't worth it. This is experience talking, fellas. The law says you can possibly be put on child support for a child that isn't yours. This is enough of a reason to avoid at all costs. I have the resources, but I'd rather spend my resources on my own children. I don't agree with parts of this. Some men that choose not to date single mothers do have the resources, the kindness, and the selflessness to take care for children that aren't their own. Maybe those men just want kids of their own blood. There's nothing wrong with that. Only when you have a child do these modern day women realize the importance of having a man. You know, it's all good when they let the bad boy hit for free right until they get pregnant. From that point onwards, the woman goes back to her primal gender roles and wants a provider and protector. Well, guess what? The baby's daddy is nowhere to be found anymore, and no man wants to wife up a single mommy.
Look, I have a kid. I used to be like that until I had my kid. Now that I have my kid, like, I might be this, oh, I'm a boss bitch, da, da, da. But deep down in my heart, I would do absolutely anything to be at home and be like always with my child.
There you go.
But unfortunately,
and have a man protecting you. Stop acting like stop leaving out the man part.
Right.
Because for you to be home with your child, that means you got a man holding you down, protecting you.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's right, and that shit's hard. Like, but unfortunately, since I'm by myself, I gotta hustle, you know. Yeah. But I would do anything to have a man like that.
That's what we saying. That's exactly.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless you for telling the fucking truth. God bless you for telling the truth. Talking about Instagram over a real nigga.
You did choose Instagram over a man.
Because unfortunately, like, that's a platform where I can make a living off, and nobody's helping me because I don't have that protector yet. You get me?
So you don't think a man could provide and protect for you?
Yeah, but I just haven't found that guy yet. And
that's what we're saying. That's what we saying. So hold on. How come women can't just say, "Listen, I want a man," instead of acting like y'all don't want a man and just want to be boss bitches?
Right.
That's what we're saying.
Nobody said that. That's not what I said. Nobody said that.
Like y'all said.
I don't want to interrupt. Nobody said that.
Like y'all she wants to. After you go, she wants to clarify her point.
I just want to clarify because I feel like it's getting turned.
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Put the camera on her.
Who?
You.
Couch girl.
Like y'all said, you're right. And I've been trying to talk, but Myron don't let me. But I really respect Myron.
Because you can't finish your sentence.
Because it's hard for me to explain. But I respect the fuck out of you, and I give you your right because you're right. That is true. Mm-hmm. What you're saying is true, and I respect you, and I respect everything that you've done. This whole part, like,
just make your point, please.
The point is that I haven't found the protector because No, I don't know the point already.
Because you want to stay at home with your child. You want a man to take care of everything.
This is why I cut you off.
He can take care of you.
All right, go ahead. Please say what you were going to say.
So what I had said got twisted. I'm not saying that I don't want a man. Like,
I would love a happy marriage. I would love that. But I think there's a big difference between want and need. And I think as a person, you shouldn't need anyone. You should want them in your life.
I'm really glad you brought this up. We had a discussion about this the other day. The problem is that women want a man. No, you fucking need a man. You need to operate like you need one. And I'll tell you why. Only in modern day times. Well, from a biological standpoint.
Happily single.
Because
you mean like as far as like children?
yeah,
and
she said
stuff.
happily single too. Here's the thing. From a biological standpoint, women do need men. And I know they get mad when I say that, but a woman cannot take care of herself and her child on her own until recent times. But the problem is that
But you agree that right now that they can.
they can,
But
but
then
here's the
the kid
thing.
comes fucked
Social constructs don't adhere to reality. A woman can get a degree and make more money, etc. But guess what? Let's say you make $100,000 a year. How much do you want your man to make?
101.
At least on your level, correct?
Yep.
I think the man should be able to equally contribute. Yes, ideally.
Fantastic. Thank you. That proves my point that even though you have your security taken care of, you will not deal with a man unless he can add an
I didn't
additional
say I
level.
wouldn't. I said I would ideally like.
Let me.
Ideally like. That would be ideal.
Well, congratulations. That's you and every other woman. Women want a man at least on their level, if not better. Even if they're able to provide their own level of security, they will not entertain or deal with a man unless he can provide some level of security as well. Why is that? Because women are hardwired to look for a man that can provide security. So what I'm simply saying is that you can go ahead and provide for yourself. That's true. But you can't beat your biology.
That was
you still
my
want a man
argument,
who's
was that we
superior,
can.
and you can't. Just because you can doesn't mean it's optimal. Just because it's capable does not mean it's optimal. I can send 20,000 women into war, and I can do that. It's capable. Is it optimal? No. I'd rather send 20,000 men to war. Why? Because men are biologically superior to women from a physicality standpoint. So just because you can doesn't mean it's the best. And my thing is this: women say, "I don't need a man." You actually do. Biologically rooted to need a man. The problem is that women want a man, and when you want, you're not going to go as hard. If I go to the gym and I need to get in shape and I need to fucking look good, I'm going to go ahead and do everything required. But if I simply want to do it, I'm going to go to the gym, half-ass it, have a pizza here or there. I'm not going to take it as seriously. And that's where a lot of modern day women are. They think, I make money. I don't need a man. I want one. Well, guess what's going to happen? That guy wants some sex. He's going to get it from you and then move on to the next bitch. So you need to move with a purpose. A lot of girls think, I just want one. Well, you're not going to take it seriously when you just want one. You need one.
Well said.
And that's how you got to move.
And you did say that I'm happily single and then I could be a CEO, which was insinuating
And a boss bitch. You said boss bitch.
I said
it was insinuation that you don't need a man, and therefore being a CEO would be equal happiness to
no.
having a man in
The
your life.
question was, he said that if basically what he had said was that, oh, if you don't get married and you don't have this man, like, you're not going to make it. And I said, that's not true. You could. Basically what you were saying was that if you're not pretty, you're screwed.
I did not say that. I simply said,
was that not the gist of the
metric
conversation?
success for a woman?
Am I
No. I said the metric of success for a woman.
The point of wanting versus needing a man is excellent. These women need men whether they like it or not. Just take a look at society's infrastructure. But, these chicks think those kinds of conveniences came out of thin air. Let's take a look at the comments. I do OF because I have to make money and nobody's helping me. Zero accountability and major entitlement. She chose to have a child out of wedlock and thinks someone should be helping her. Men don't think or expect that anyone should be helping them. If we did, people would think we were bums. The fact that OF, in her mind, is the only way she can make money proves she offers nothing and should be objectified. You are what you are. Own it. You know that modern women and the word accountability don't go well together. Just remember, she's crying because she might have to settle for you. Just like Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, she will probably have to settle for an average Joe making quote-unquote little money. Sorry, not sorry. The high-value men will still enjoy their particular abundance of women where single moms are not allowed. It's important for every man to watch several of these podcasts. It will help you avoid the women that will destroy your life. They don't cry for what they did, but for the consequences of what they've done. Yeah, the bedroom fund was a huge dopamine booster, but having a child out of wedlock is a pain in the neck and somewhere else. Guys, thanks for checking out this video. Stay tuned for more daily content. Like, subscribe, and comment. Don't forget to check out the pinned comment below and vote on the poll. Peace.